welcome on into Rocket Arena for the second game of a four-game slate here today. Day one of the Mid-American Conference Tournament. The women's side of the bracket playing today at Rocket Arena here in Cleveland, Ohio. We are set for Kent State, the 4 seed, against the Miami of Ohio, the 5 seed. Tyler Cavlett's here alongside Henry Costco. Thank you all for tuning in, joining us here today. This is going to be an exciting one. Nice 4-5 battle. Should be a very competitive contest.
Yeah, and you would look at these two teams in 2024 and you would say, man, this would be a blowout for Kent State, obviously the 2024 MAC champions. But Miami has had such a resurgence under Glenn Box, who came into a program that was struggling in 2024, and he's just completely turned it around behind their leading scorer, Angelina Gonzalez, transferring from Mercer, All-MAC first team as a sophomore, Tyler.
Yeah, this is the Red Hawks' first time in the Mid-American Conference Tournament since the 2018-2019 season. There are no current players or coaches on this current staff and roster that have competed in the MAC tournament. So you mentioned Kent State being the reigning champs of this tournament. That's going to be a huge thing to watch for. You have Todd Starkey leading that group, a very veteran head coach, a very veteran group led by Jenna Bash, who you mentioned, versus this Miami team that's really players and coaches alike walking into unknown territory. They really don't know what to expect from this because not a single person on the team has experienced this tournament atmosphere and format.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. You know, Kent State coming in with all the experience. Jenna Bash, 4 years of experience at Kent State under the helm, the leader of this team. She's going to be one that Miami is really going to have to watch, and Miami is the best defensive team in the MAC, so they will put some trouble towards Jenna Bash. But I know both of these teams might be trembling in their boots after watching Ball State absolutely handle Western Michigan, beating them by 29 just a few minutes ago. Yeah,
and the winner of this game will face Ball State in the semifinals. We'll go over some brief things about these teams, and we have about 2 minutes here till tip-off. Tight time between these games on these tournament days. Kent State, this is their 37th Mid-American Conference Tournament appearance. They're 39-31 all-time in Cleveland. They have advanced to the semifinals in 8 of the 9 seasons under head coach Todd Starkey. 4-time MAC tournament champions, most recently last year. They have faced Miami 9 times in the MAC tournament. They are 5-3 against Miami since 2002, or sorry, 6-3. That math didn't add up. Against Miami, they have not faced them in the tournament though since 2002. So it's been a while since these teams matched up in this format. 42-49, Kent State's all-time record against Miami, and they are 10-6 against them under head coach Todd Starkey. And for Miami, other than the inexperience, the real story is that defense. They are top 20 in the country with 11.5 steals per game and 21.3 turnovers forced per game, and they lead the MAC in scoring defense, holding opponents to just 58.3 points per game. So that's really going to be the battle, is the experienced and defending champs versus this very tight and like boa constricting Miami Red Hawk defense.
Yeah, we talked about Gonzalez and her offensive output, but she is also fantastic defensively at the guard position. Maya Chandler, Amber Treader also. Amber Treader, an All-MAC honorable mention this year. Those will be players to watch, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But looking at the way these two teams matched up in the regular season, Kent State came out on top in the first game, 77-63, big win for them. But the second game between these two, which was at Kent, was very close. That was only about 6 or 7 games ago, only a few weeks ago, 64-62 final in favor of Miami. So they proved already that they can beat this team and that they're going to put up a fight in this one.
Kent State overall this season, they are 20-11. And they are 12-6 in conference play. Miami is 19-10. They are overall in conference play 11-7. Look at the neutral records because this is technically a neutral site. 1-1 Kent State has fared on neutral sites. Miami has only had 1 neutral game, and they are 1-0 in that. So looking at the crowd, though, you can definitely see pretty large discrepancy, as I think we would have thought, towards that Kent State side. Kent only about 2 hours and change away from Cleveland. Miami, you're looking at a little more.
Yeah, the side closest to us pretty much full, at least the lower section, full of Kent fans. I think we'll hear some crowd noise from them, maybe pick it up on the mics, but Miami looking a bit slim over there on the other side. They'll be kind of playing maybe a little bit of an away game here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, and the starting lineups are in for both these teams. For Kent State, they'll be going with Jenna Batch. We've talked about her at length in the short pregame, the senior forward, 6 foot 2 inches from Loveland, Ohio, a member of the All-MAC first team this year. She'll be joined by Bridget Dunn. Dunn is a senior forward, 6 foot 3 from Carmel, Indiana. Deanna Gray joining them, 5 foot 4 junior guard, but she's really kind of a spark plug and a fire starter for this Kent State offense. Alongside them, Maya Babbitt, 5 foot 8 guard from Nebraska, and then Janae Tyler, the All-MAC honorable mention team honoree, standing at 6 foot 1 sophomore forward from Lansing, Michigan. Over on the other side for Miami, they will be led by Maya Chandler, 5 foot 7 graduate guard from Martinsville, Indiana. And then the name that we've also mentioned on their side, Angelana Gonzalez, 5 foot 9 sophomore guard from Miami, Florida, also a member of the All-MAC first team alongside Jenna Bash. They'll be joined by Tamar Singer, 5 foot 7 guard from Israel. Amber Treader, 6 foot 1 sophomore forward from Ferdinand, Indiana, an All-MAC honorable mention nominee or honoree this season. And rounding out their starting 5, Kate Richardson, 6 foot 1 senior forward from Zionsville, Indiana.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at a battle of the bees between these two All-MAC first-team guards and who is going to be able to contain the other team's guard better. I think if you're looking at Miami and their defensive prowess coming into this game, you might want to favor them, especially with Kent State's reliance on Bash to dictate that offense. Their goal is going to be double-teaming Bash, getting her out of the game as much as possible, and forcing the other players on this Go and Flash offense to contribute.
And we've mentioned this Miami defense. I think the real key to this game is going to be how Kent State's defense holds up.
Right.
Kent State's not a slouch in defense. They rank 2nd in 3-point percentage defense and 4th in scoring and field goal percentage defense. By the way, 3-point percentage defense, something that Miami is actually not good at.
Right.
2nd worst team in the MAC. That's the only defensive category they lack in.
Right.
But Miami has a magic number this season. That number is 70. When they score at least 70 points this year, they are a perfect 11-0, and they are coming off an 89-point outing against Northern Illinois in their last game, which was their highest scoring game of the season. They are coming into this one with full momentum. And we have the tip-off here, and Kent State's going to win it. Kent State wearing their all-whites, Miami in their all-reds. Kicked ball right after the jump ball. A little pause there. Kent State will be going left to right. Miami right to left. Deanna Gray with it, driving inside, puts up the right-handed layup with contact, gets it to go. Deanna Gray puts up Kent State early, 2-0.
Puts the body on Singer there early, really forced herself down into the lane and got herself that layup single-handedly.
Tamar Singer with it, gives it off to Robinson. And now it's Gonzalez working inside. A little floater does not go for Gonzalez. She gets her own rebound, though. Kicks it inside here, and the layup's put back in. That is Katie Richardson. That gets the layup to even it up at 2-2 apiece. And here's an errant pass from Deanna Gray. Looks like she was trying to find, I believe, that may have been Jenna Bash in the corner.
Yeah, it just looked like a miscommunication there on that one. But we saw the pressure that Kent State defense is putting on Gonzalez, forced her to make that pass. Down low in the first possession, here she is with the ball again.
Yeah, Gonzalez kicks it out here. Wide open 3 by Amber Treader is no good. That's rebounded by Kent State. They'll take it the other way. Bash with the ball. Guarded by Maya Chandler. Chandler physical with the defense, forcing Bash to pick up her dribble. She gives it off here. Working with it to the right, and now taking a three-pointer and getting it to go is Maya Babbitt. Nice job of creating some space for herself and draining the triple.
Yeah, good step-back move on Gonzalez. Really fooled her and got that extra step that allowed her to get the space to take that 3 there. 5-2 Kent State.
5-2, like you mentioned, Kent State. Just about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Good ball movement around the outside by Miami. It's Gonzalez with it. Thought about a spot-up jumper, did not take it. Kicked it out to the corner. That three-pointer is no good. And Deanna Gray takes it the other way. That was Maya Chandler missing the three-pointer for Miami. Bridget Dunn with it. Gives it up top, now swung over to the right. Inside back to Bridget Dunn. Dunn takes the contact, banks it off the backboard for the layup. 7-2 Kent State. They're on a 5-0 run over the past 90 seconds.
Dunn using that size advantage she got there on the mismatch down low. Have to watch for that more later on.
Gonzalez with it, really the primary ball handler. Rare that you don't see it in her hands for Miami. A little jumper there, goes off, back iron, bounces back up, and goes through the net for two. 7-4 Kent State.
We're going to see that a lot here today. Just whenever she gets that one-on-one matchup, she's going to try to utilize it, finding her spot there at the top of the key and draining the two.
Perfect for a fast-paced offense. She does not waste time on offense. She does not hold the ball. She just goes and shoots it. She kind of runs her own 8-second offense. Jenna Bash leaning in there, just a long two, went off front iron and out of bounds. I believe it will stay Kent State ball, though.
I'm really liking the energy we're seeing out of both of these teams. We saw Western Michigan, especially last game, come out really slow in their opener. Both of these teams seem like they came here ready to fight in this one.
You always get these competitive battles. As here's another errant pass by Deanna Gray. I believe she was trying to get...
That was Babbitt. It was just a miscommunication there. It looked like she was expecting Babbitt to kind of push out towards the logo and retrieve that one, and she threw it way past her head and out of bounds.
And I mean, Babbitt obviously very clearly moved forward. Yeah. That's two errant passes now by Deanna Gray. Richardson is out for Miami. They do have a substitution. They brought in Ilse de Vries, the freshman forward from the Netherlands. Driving inside here, missed jumper by Miami. Couldn't see exactly. That was Maya Chandler on the missed jumper just inside the free throw line. Deanna Gray, the ball handler for Kent State on the other end. Double team driving inside. Kicks out to the corner. Bridget Dunn pulls a triple. Gets it to go. Can't leave Bridget Dunn alone and wide open for a three-pointer. Shooting 34.6% from beyond the arc this season. Pretty good for a forward.
Yeah, Red Hawks just collapsed a little bit too far there on the drive to the lane.
Inside for Miami. Shredder left pretty wide alone. Just spin move there to put up a little floater. About 4 feet away, gets it to go. So Kent State up by 4, 10-6. 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jenna Bash with the ball, trying to get a pass inside. It's knocked away. She regains control of the ball. Now driving inside, double teamed. One-legged floater does not go. And it's going to be Gonzalez with it the other way. Gonzalez will kick it to the corner. Three-pointer is no good there. Three-pointer missed by Tamar Singer. And on the other end, Deanna Gray going to try to drive inside, stripped down, and she lost her footing and fell right in front of the cheerleaders of Miami there. And I believe they're going to say it was off Deanna Gray.
Yeah, that was another great play. Amber Treader really, she saw Gray pushing towards the back line there and really just kind of forced her out of bounds. That's back-to-back. Great defensive plays by Treader. She had a great possession on the previous Kent State miss as well.
On the floor for Kent State right now, it's Bash, Dunn, Gray, Babbitt. And newly checked in, it's going to be Riley Rissmiller. For Miami, it's Chandler, Gonzalez, Singer, Treader, and then you have DeFries as the bench player that has checked in for the Red Hawks. It's Richardson with it, kicks it out here. Going to be a wide open triple. Taken there, will not go by Laird. Newly checked in, Corey Lard, I should say. 5'9" senior guard from Davenport, Iowa. Missed shot by Kent State on the other end. With it and driving inside is going to be Gonzalez once again, just the primary ball handler for Miami. Forcing her way inside, making the layup, and Miami's creeping back up to Kent State. 10-8 now, Golden Flashes, 4.5 to play in the first quarter. We're going to have a whistle. See if this is a defensive or an offensive foul. Looked like a defensive foul to me. I haven't heard anything over the loudspeakers. It is going to be on Maya Chandler, and that'll take us to the media timeout for the first quarter. First foul of this game Took a little bit for us to get there, but Kent State up early over Miami, 10-8, 4:28 to play in the first quarter. Tyler Kablitz, Henry Costco here with you on Falcon Radio.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Competitive first few minutes of action here in the second game of the day of the Mid-American Conference Tournament at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, between Kent State and Miami of Ohio, the 4 and 5 seeds in this tournament on the women's side, respectively. 10-8, Golden Flashes lead the Red Hawks with 4:28 to play in the first quarter. Tyler Kablitz, Henry Costco, along with you here, part of our coverage for Falcon Media Sports Network of the 25th annual MAC tournament here at Rocket Arena.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy tournament for us. Second out of, I believe, 14 total games we'll have here between Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM. One more coming up that I'll be on play-by-play for, Toledo against Central Michigan with Artie Abrego. Also on that call, followed by Bowling Green's game against Buffalo. Big one coming up tonight. WBGU FM, Lucas Kleimeyer and Caden Knapp.
And we have more coverage than just these radio calls. You can check out bgfalconmedia.com where you will have stories posted there, recaps of every single game, some other additional stories for the BG-specific games. You can also go over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. We will have highlight videos of the Bowling Green games and the Bowling Green press conferences, and you can head over to the FMSN, Falcon Media Sports Network X account, Twitter account, whatever, the Bird app, whatever everyone's calling it nowadays. That always seems to change week by week. At BG_FMSN, we have live updates going of every single game here at the MAC tournament.
Yeah, well, they're showing Glenn Box here on the big board at Rocket Arena. I think it's a great time to hit on some of the accomplishments that he's really had for this team's second season, and already we've seen just a complete turnaround of the program.
Yeah, it's been a complete overhaul, and it just really great job not only to make it to the MAC tournament after not being in so long, but to make it as a 5 seed and be competitive here, have the defense that they have. He's built a very good program over there at Miami. Bridget Dunn with it. Kicks it inside here. No good on the miss. That was, I believe, Lexi Linton missing the shot. Sorry, Janae Tyler missing that. Newly checked in, Janae Tyler. It's going to be a three-pointer launched on the other end by Miami, and that'll go Maya Chandler from the right wing.
That's a dangerous piece for Miami. Kent State cannot let Maya Chandler get hot. 11 points per game on the year transfer, both SMU and Loyola Chicago. She's been around.
And just like that, the Red Hawks have the lead over the Golden Flashes 11-10. Maya Chandler 36.4% from the arc this season. Deanna Gray got fouled in that last possession by Corey Lard, so she will go to the line for a couple free throws.
Deanna Gray, a very good free throw shooter, 88% from the line, second best on the squad for the Flashes.
Once again, not a huge player, but plays a lot bigger than her size. A lot of energy she brings to this Kent State team. She makes the first one, rattles in after hitting front iron. Leading scorers so far is Bridget Dunn with 5 points for Kent State. Gonzalez has 4 for Miami. All tied up 11-11 here between Kent State and Miami. 3:52 to play in the first quarter. Here at Rocket Arena, Deanna Gray misses the second, so we stay all tied up. Lard with the ball for Miami.
Interesting to see how this Red Hawk offense operates without Gonzalez on the floor right now.
It is going to be actually Gonzalez
yeah,
is still on the floor, so
bad there.
Gonzalez has the ball as expected. Nice pass inside here, almost lost it. And she does lose it. It's going to be taken by Kent State. Deanna Gray with the ball. It's given to Bridget Dunn on the wing. Dunn gives it back to Gray. Now to Bash. Bash going to pull. Sorry, that was... Bash going to pull the triple. Does not go. A little scramble at the MAC logo inside the painted area.
Tough play there by Tyler to be able to get that offensive rebound, but foul on the play will send it the other way regardless. There's another player checking in for Kent State here.
It's going to be a foul on Nariha Horho. It's not going to be a foul, my apologies. She was credited with a steal as they went to a jump ball in the possession arrow faced towards Miami. Maya Babbitt subbing out for Bridget Dunn there. Missed shot on the other end by Miami. Gives it to the Golden Flashes. Flash is trying to get something going down low with Janae Tyler. Can't get it to go. That Miami defense just collapsing. Four defenders there on one. Gonzalez passing up a shot. You don't see that often. Trying to drive inside to get another one. Misses it wildly, but is fouled. We'll see. I believe that may be Bridget Dunn getting the foul. We'll see who they assign it to. It will not. It'll be Journey Hildebrand, her first.
5'11" freshman from Brunswick, Ohio is Hildebrand. 4.5 points on the year, averaging almost 2 rebounds, as well half a steal and half an assist.
Played 29 games this season. You'll see her for about 15, 16 minutes a game. One of those rotational bench pieces for Todd Starkey. Gonzalez at the free throw line. She is a decent free throw shooter, 74.2% on the season. Misses off back iron for the first attempt.
Yeah, she would really benefit from just shooting a little bit better from the free throw line. 66 for 89 attempts, which is a lot coming into this game here.
Second most attempts on the team, also second most makes. And it doesn't really match her other shooting figures, 45.9% from the field and 37.2% from deep. But she makes the second, gives Miami the lead once again. Miami on an 8-0 run over the past 4 minutes. They have the lead over Kent State 12-11 with 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this first quarter here at Rocket Arena. Bridget Dunn with the ball, gives it off to Deanna Gray. Gray working around a screen, going to pull up for a triple top of the key. Off front iron, no good. Rebounded by the Red Hawks. It's going to be Maya Chandler with the ball. Chandler drives inside, now kicks it out. Now down low. Going to be double teamed by Kent State. And we're going to have a held ball. Possession arrow will turn the other way, and Kent State will regain possession. Nice job by the Golden Flashes defense swarming down low. Not giving Amber Treader anything to do on the low block.
Yeah, Red Hawks just kind of caught in a little bit of a slow play there. They just kind of kept the ball on the same side of the floor a little bit too long. Flashes took advantage when the ball went down low.
Pass up top to Bridget Dunn, top of the key. Gives it off here to the right side to Maya Babbitt. And it's going to be a foul on Jenna Bash, an off-ball foul by Bash. That'll be here first. And overall, the second team foul for the Golden Flashes.
I think she got called on some sort of push-off there just by the sign of the ref there.
That'll also be a huge thing. See if any of these stars get into foul trouble.
Yeah.
Bash picking up her first. She'll want to stay out of it. Not someone who usually does get into foul trouble. Bash not the most physical player on the court. Good ball movement by Miami around the wings. Jump shot inside here, no good. But Miami retains possession. Going to be a three-pointer launched and drained by Maya Chandler. And once again, Kent State leaving Maya Chandler open, and she's making them pay for it.
Yeah, second three of the game for her. I'm really liking how involved everyone is in this Miami offense right now. Maya Chandler finding herself open in a lot of spots.
There's a jumper on the other end. Nailed by Jenna Bash, moving to her left. A really hard jumper, but she gets it to go. Three-pointer launched by Gonzalez is no good. Deanna Gray comes up with it, kicks it outside here. Wide open three-pointer will not go for Maya Babbitt. On the other end, going to be a wild shot falling down, surrounded by 3 golden flashes there by Miami's Amber Shredder. Really forced that shot, couldn't do too much with it. We have shot clock off, 10 seconds and counting to go in the first quarter. Jenna Bash has the ball for Kent State, down to 4-3, spot up jumper, air ball, goes out of bounds with 0.6 left, so Miami does have time to get a very quick jumper off here.
Looks like they're just going to decide to...
Yeah, they will let the clock run out. So Miami going to head into the break with a 15-13 lead over the Golden Flashes of Kent State after the first quarter. A very competitive first quarter between these two teams. You're listening to the MAC tournament here on Falcon Radio.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
To prepare for possible telecom outages, create an emergency communications plan. First, check important cell phone contacts and note local non-emergency numbers. Store at least one contact as in case of emergency, and make sure that person knows if you have medical issues. Also, make sure everyone in your house knows how to text. Check backup batteries and fully charge all phones and rechargers, and sign up to receive mobile alerts. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
An extremely competitive first quarter between Miami, the 5 seed, and Kent State, the 4 seed, here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. The 25th year of the MAC tournament has been held in this building. It's gone through a few different name changes during that span.
Quite a few, yeah.
Gund Arena to the Q, which will forever be the name that I will have for this place, Quicken Loans Arena. Then to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and just a few weeks ago, Rocket Arena. But looking back at that first half, Henry, what were your big takeaways of the first 10 minutes of action between these two middle-seeded teams?
Well, I think Miami will be happy with their defensive performance, holding Kent State to 13 in a quarter. Reminder, this is second-best offense in the MAC in terms of points per game. 13 is not going to be something that Kent State's happy with, but they're really going to try to keep that momentum going, try to limit Kent State offensively as much as they can, and wherever they can find offense, they'll like to find it, and they found it in the form of Maya Chandler, especially early in the first quarter.
Pretty clean first half, too. Just 4 fouls overall combined between the two teams. Back underway, Gonzalez with it. Drops it down low. Kicked outside now. Good defense by Kent State on the perimeter. Shredder had it, kicked it back out. Now to Shredder. She's going to launch a triple. Does not go. Very deep three-pointer launched by Amber Shredder. Shredder on the season shooting just 28.9% from deep. felt like a forced shot there.
Yeah, Miami's not going to be happy with that one. We'll see what they can do on the other end on the defensive side.
Janae Tyler with the ball working inside, double teamed, drops it down low to a wide open Maya Babbitt, who finishes the job for 2 points. We're all tied up at 15 apiece. A minute down in the second quarter.
A defensive collapse onto Tyler that just really left Babbitt open. I'm sure Miami isn't going to be happy with that one.
Tyler kind of just stepped through it and broke that press real easily down low.
Yeah, open layup's the last thing you want to give up.
Definitely. Chandler working inside, missed the layup. And I believe we're going to have a foul while trying to scramble for the rebound. After the Chandler miss, it's going to be a foul on Kate Richardson. Katie Richardson picking up her first foul of the game. Janae Tyler secured that rebound, her third rebound of the contest.
Tough foul there. It looked like it was going to be a foul, but Gray really just went into the hands of Treader and fell out of bounds there.
Second time we've seen her go down out of bounds. No foul called, but it will stay Kent State ball.
You mentioned how she's a small player, but she plays way bigger than her size. You've seen that right now.
Janae Tyler with it inside, couple spin moves, trying to get to the rim. She does. Real nice post work down low by Janae Tyler. Her first points of the game, and every starter for Kent State has scored. 4 starters for Miami have scored. The only one without a point, Tamar Singer. And she's played the most minutes on the floor for the Redhawks, all 12 minutes so far. Kick out here for a triple, nailed by Gonzalez. And we're seeing, I mentioned to you off air, how we didn't really feel like she did much in that second half of the first quarter after the media timeout. Gets back on the board there.
Yeah, well, she's playing a lot of off-the-ball offense. They're relying on Singer and Chandler a lot more to be primary ball handlers. And they're finding open looks for her as a result.
Janae Tyler down low, double-teamed. Good time this time. Good job this time by Miami.
Yeah.
Double team worked great. Forced a wild shot by Tyler off the backboard. Did not go. On the other end, kick out here. Gonzalez going to take another triple. This one just a little bit off the mark, but an offensive rebound by the Redhawks. Going to be given here for a jumper at the free throw line. Does not go. That was Lard on the miss. And we're going to have a foul on the other end.
A bit of a body check there. I believe that was Richardson. That's an interesting matchup right now. That's really where Kent State is going on their offense.
They're really just going Janae Tyler down low every time.
They're maybe targeting Richardson on purpose, or they're just trusting Tyler to get those open looks down there as she gets to the free throw line once again.
And that's going to be a bit of a concern for the Redhawks because she's not even Janae Tyler the main post presence for this Kent State team. That is Bridget Dunn, who is second in the MAC in rebounds and first in offensive rebounds. And we haven't seen much of her inside. The only real notable things we've seen is a triple and another shot made by her.
Yeah. Tyler, 55% around from the free throw line, makes her first and
just misses the second.
That's about even to her splits then, half and half.
Yeah, not the best free throw shooter you're going to see. On the floor for Kent State right now, Bash, Dunn, Babbitt, and Tyler, along with recently checked in over the past couple of minutes, Megan Murray. As Gonzalez drops it inside here.
Wow.
To Ilsa DeFries.
Shifty play by Gonzalez. She just attracts that defender and with a couple of dribble moves just finds the open guy and even creates the open player there in DeVries, just attracting the defender off of her.
And speaking of Bridget Dunn, there's a missed shot by Dunn. And then Janae Tyler gets the rebound, puts up a shot, and she goes down hard on a foul. Almost looked like she was in pain there for a second, but gets up just fine. The foul's going to be on Amber Treader. That's her first.
She is working hard down there in the paint, earned another foul.
And now we're seeing Janae Tyler and Bridget Dunn on the floor at the same time. Both them down there in the post on that play. Just felt like Miami didn't really have an answer for it.
This is really interesting. This feels like a specific kind of attack that Kent State maybe planned, really going down low to these two big players.
I will always say I know Brady Salee is great at Ball State,
Right.
but I think Todd Starkey is one of, if not the best coach in the Mid-American Conference on the women's side, women's or men's side. I think he is a tremendous head coach. Both free throws made by Janae Tyler. She's up to 5 points, tied for the lead with Kent State, along with Babbitt and Dunn. Gonzalez leads all scorers for Miami with 8. She has the ball in the corner, and we're going to have a whistle.
3 seconds.
It's going to be a 3-second violation on the Redhawks, so that'll go the other way for Kent State. All knotted up at 20 apiece, 6:23 to play in this first half.
Yes. Head coach Starkey was happy about that jumping up and down on the sideline, but when you mentioned the prowess of this coach, I believe it's 8 seasons now with Kent State, and we've seen all the success, obviously winning 9 seasons, with the MAC, with Kent State, now winning the MAC tournament.
8 of those seasons, though, they have advanced to the semifinals which is just an incredible feat to have that consistency with a program.
Yeah.
Down low with it, turning and putting in the shot. Does not go. That was Riley Rismiller missing the shot for Kent State. On the other end, Miami responds. Maya Chandler working inside once again. She's also pretty shifty, getting down low, working to the left side of the rim. Gets the layup to fall. 22-20, Miami leads.
They've had a lot of success so far on the transition offense, really relying on that speed from Chandler and Gonzalez to get them those looks.
Both teams really attacking the paint recently, as there's a tremendous job by Jenna Bash taking the contact, working inside, moving to her right after the contact, putting it off the backboard. Some spin helps and it falls, all knotted up at 22 apiece.
She could have very well gotten a foul call there.
As that's going to be an open shot opportunity on the mid-range. Just missed there by Miami. Maya Chandler unable to finish the job. Maya Babbitt secures the rebounds. Deanna Gray with the ball. Gives it up top here. Now trying to find down low to Rismiller, and that's knocked away and taken by Chandler. She's going to take a shot just at the free throw line. Does not go, kind of falling forward. Went off a little too strong. Deanna Gray has the ball after the Bridget Dunn rebound.
Matchup change down low. Rismiller is in for Kent State with Tyler out. Now with DeVries guarding her down low.
And haven't seen them going down low as much, so it may be just a Janae Tyler game plan right there. As Jenna Bash just loses the ball. Gonzalez going to come up with it. It'll be Corey Lard operating the offense.
Yeah, interesting. We're seeing this consistently with Corey Lard, the senior out of Davenport, Iowa. Really,
when she's on the floor, she has the ball.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Gonzalez with it now, off the wing, driving inside, almost loses it, spin move, still dribbling the ball. Now a fadeaway jumper does not go. Would have been a spectacular play if she could finish it. But Kent State's going to take it the other way. Under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Next timeout will lead us to our media timeout for the quarter. All knotted up at 22 apiece still. Both teams have been in a scoreless drought recently. Kent State for 1:41 and Miami for just over 2 minutes. And we do have a timeout taken on the floor, so we will head with them for that break. All knotted up at 22 apiece between Miami of Ohio and Kent State here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. Tyler Cavlitz, Henry Costco with you. You're listening to the MAC Tournament on Falcon Radio.
For the 4th consecutive year, Falcon Media Sports Network will have coverage of the entire MAC men's and women's basketball tournament at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. The women's tournament will start on Wednesday, March 12th, with the men's beginning on Thursday, March 13th. Both championship games will be held on Saturday, March 15th. Broadcasts of all BGSU women's basketball games and both championship contests will air on WBGU 88.1 FM. All other games will air on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com. To keep up with all the coverage by Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Cavlitz, Lucas Kleinmeyer, Artie Abrego, Caden Knapp, Henry Costco, Jack Rintema, and Dane Leiniger, check out bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter X, and head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Isaac.
is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, downtown in Cleveland. 22-22, Kent State, Miami of Ohio tied up, 3:49 to play in the first half. Henry, what have you noticed in the second quarter that's been a little different from the first quarter on either team?
Well, for one thing, the pace has slowed down. We've seen it become a lot more physical. They were really just letting them run and letting them play in the first quarter, and we're seeing a lot less of that, but it hasn't necessarily translated to more scoring. Still 22-22 with only 3:50 left in this quarter, but I think the game is really playing to Miami's strengths. If you would agree, it really feels like they're trying to keep Kent State down, keep playing them physical on the defensive end, and they're getting these contributions from Chandler and Gonzalez here on the offensive end that have really helped boost them here.
Right now, the leading scorer for the game, all tied up between 2 players for Miami. Chandler and Gonzalez with 8 apiece. Bridget Dunn, Maya Babbitt, Janae Tyler tied up with 5 apiece for Kent State.
How about the
no bench? Only one bench player scoring points. Actually, no. Sorry, I apparently can't count. No bench points no bench points for the Golden Flashes. Only 1 shot taken off of the bench, and just 11 minutes total played from bench players. So very starter-centric on this Kent State team. They have the depth there.
Yeah.
They just have relied on their starters here today so far.
How about the disparity? 5 points is the high for any players. 3 of those Kent State players have 5 right now.
Shot clock running down. Deanna Gray's 3-pointer goes off front iron. No good, but Janae Tyler checked in once again. Down low there for the offensive rebound. Puts it back up for 2. Kent State back out in front. And Janae Tyler has been the X factor in this game.
Talk about being at the right place at the right time. Really that's why you just want to put that shot up at the end of the shot clock there in hopes that you can get an offensive rebound, and it worked out for them.
3-pointer taken, no good on the other end. Believe that was Ilsa DeFries launching it.
Deanna Gray facilitating the offense now.
He had a 3-pointer taken and drained. Maya Babbitt once again. Couple 3-pointers in the game for Maya Babbitt. Make it 3. And she's now tied for the game lead in points with 8.
She's an over 40% 3-point shooter. Does not miss many from that mark.
Wide open layup down low. No good there. By Miami's Maya Chandler. And Bridget Dunn responds on the other end with a deep 3-pointer. Bridget Dunn, couple 3-pointers for her on her ledger. And she's up to also a game-tying 8 points. So 4 players in the game right now with 8 points, 2 on either side. Another open layup missed on the other end by Miami. Ilsa DeFries not able to put it away.
Really unselfish.
Amber Schroeder on that one.
Unselfish play by Gray to give Dunn that look, the better 3-point shooter, as she gets...
As Gray gets stuffed by Schroeder down low. She gets her own rebound, though. Kicks it out here, 3-pointer, and Kent State cannot miss. Maya Babbitt, a second 3-pointer in the span of a minute for Babbitt, and Kent State gets the block on the other end.
Can they make it back-to-back threes?
A 13-0 scoring run by Kent State. They're trying for a 4th-straight triple, and they get it. Maya Babbitt, a third 3-pointer made in the stretch. Kent State's made 4 in a row, and they are up 36-22.
Can the Golden Flashes miss a 3 late in the second quarter?
16-0 run by the Golden Flashes.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Talk about a momentum shift.
Snap of your fingers, and Kent State just took this game over. Completely different game than what we had a couple of minutes ago, Henry.
I mean, they almost scored half of their points in the span of about 2 minutes there. And just talk about getting Babbitt those looks. Talk about 41% 3-point shooter. That's the person you want with the ball in your hands at the 3-point line. They just continue to get her the ball, feed the hot hand. Man.
Maya Babbitt, 14 points. 5 for 6 from the field, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc, and Todd Starkey's squad up by 14 over the Redhawks, 36-22, with a 1:28 to play in a half. This is the game that was gridlocked for almost the entire first half up until this point, and Kent State just decided enough of that. We're going to take over the game.
Yeah, and this is the tough part about running like a high motor offense that Miami has done. They've been trying to get this transition offense going, but when you keep missing the shots and the other team comes back on the other side and keeps making the shots over and over, that's when you can really start to get these runs that Kent State has been on, and they'll try to reset out of the timeout here.
Tamar Singer with the ball. Gives it off. Now up top with Amber Treader. Treader kicks it out to the corner. Three-pointer launch, no good there, but an offensive rebound by Corey Lard. She kicks it out, going to be another triple launched, and finally the 16-0 scoring drought is ended as Maya Chandler drains her third triple of the game. She's up to 11. First Red Hawk in double figures. Janae Tyler triple team down low on the other end. Cannot get her shot to go. Miami looking to build some momentum, trying to get back into this one. Gonzalez kicks it out here. Now going to be a mid-range jumper missed by Chandler at the free throw line as she was leaning in. About 35 seconds and counting to play in the first half here in Cleveland. 36-25, Kent State up over Miami. Jenna Bash with the ball, gives it off to Deanna Gray, top of the key. Gray gives it back to Bash. Ball's lost now. It's going to be taken away by Miami as Bash hits the deck. And it's going to be a wide open layup missed. They're going to hit the deck and wrestle for it. Maya Chandler came away with the ball. Her second steal of the game. No one in front of her and just missed the layup.
Unbelievable. That's kind of a chance where you look behind, there's no one behind you, and you might freak out a little bit. Wow. Just misses that open layup, and the ball's going to go the other way for Kent State. Just missed the opportunity there for the Redhawks.
Deanna Gray secured that rebound. Talked about it. 5'4", 6 rebounds for Henry today, and that is her 5th defensive board. And it was the jump ball, so it will point possession arrow towards Kent State. Under 10 seconds to go now. Shot clock off. Deanna Gray with the ball down to 5. 4, still hasn't made her move. 3, loses the ball almost down to 1. Gives it off here. Bridget Dunn going to launch a triple before the buzzer. And that goes for Bridget Dunn. Kent State, red hot, goes into halftime. 39-25 lead over Miami off the buzzer beater triple by Bridget Dunn.
Unbelievable turnaround by the Golden Flashes, and what a find by Gray there. Really trying to find double team there at the top of the key and finding Dunn for the 3. Just everything coming together at the right time for the Flashes.
Quick release by Dunn. She got that ball with maybe just over a second to go on the clock. Fantastic job, like you said, at Gray of getting it out of her hands after almost losing it. And what a second quarter for Kent State. They outscored Miami in the quarter 26-10.
Wow.
And they will head into halftime once again with a 39-25 lead. So we will step away for a few minutes, come back with you to recap the first 20 minutes of action between the two teams. You are listening to the MAC Tournament here in Cleveland for the 25th year in a row on Falcon Radio.
It's time now to see what's happening around BGSU. This Friday, it's the BGSU Shamrock Social at the Bowen Thompson Student Union Oval. This Falcons After Dark event will have giant games, inflatables, St. Patrick's Day t-shirts, and a Shamrock painting kit. Happening on Wednesday, the 19th, it's TEDx BGSU in the Student Union's multi-purpose room. Registration and a list of speakers can be found at bgsu.edu/TEDxBGSU. And midterm grading period runs now through the 16th. Instructors can report midterm grades at any time, so students are recommended to check their grades throughout this time. For a full list of events, visit events.bgsu.edu. I'm Nate. That's a look at what's happening around BGSU on Falcon Radio.
All over America, people are taking the National Radon Test. Have you? Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false. The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. true.
I'm going to dial the number and call.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
Standing up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Seeking the truth and speaking our minds. Not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
On November 15th, 2024, BGSU Hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away. With the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Halftime here, still at Rocket Arena, home of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Cleveland Monsters, and soon to be home of the Cleveland Rockers in 2028, the WNBA team returning back to Cleveland after a long absence. Been excited about that, but do have some women's basketball action underway at the collegiate level here in the Mid-American Conference Tournament. 39-25 at halftime. Kent State leading Miami. Henry Costco joining me, Tyler Kavlitz, on this call for this one. It was a tightly contested first half for most of the first half. Yeah. And then I would say maybe the final 3-4 minutes, Kent State's offense just woke up, nailing 4 3-pointers in a row at one point, outscoring Miami 26-10 in the second quarter. They ended the half on a 21-5 run. It was a 16-0 run at one point. I mean, I'm kind of out of words to describe what they did because it was so out of the ordinary for how that first half had gone.
Yeah, it was such a defensive first half. Both teams were kind of in a stalemate, and they were really playing small ball down low, and all of a sudden Kent State just starts that transition offense up and really gives Maya Babbitt the ball and gives her that chance. 4 for 5 from 3. She only shot one shot that wasn't a three-pointer in the first half. 14 points on the day for her. That is a game high across both teams, but it hasn't just been her. It's been Dunn, 11 points on 7 rebounds and a block. Huge first half for her, but the one person that's been kind of quiet for the Flashes is Jenna Bash.
Yeah, you haven't seen too much out of her scoring-wise. You've seen her with the ball. You've seen her take shots. Just 2 for 8 from the field. She's taken a lot of difficult shots. I think it's fair to say she hasn't had many open looks here in this one, which has been, a main reason why she only has 4 points, but other players have stepped up. You mentioned Maya Babbitt. You look at Bridget Dunn. She has 11. Janae Tyler has 7. Tyler's been a focus down low. Feels like a full game plan going towards Janae Tyler and feeding her down low. And honestly, that may have been what led to that big run when you think about it, because you use Janae Tyler, if you're Todd Starkey, for a solid 10 minutes there, 5 to 10 minutes, just pounding down low and trying to weaken the inside of that Miami defense. You start to get all those defenders to crash, and then you change it up real quick out of a timeout, go, okay, let's start taking the three-pointers. In the Red Hawks, as good as their defense has been this year, felt like they had a really tough time adjusting to that change in game plan.
Yeah, really, Kent State, you mentioned about halfway through the second quarter how they were really relying on their starters, and they still are. Still not a bench point for the Flashes.
Only one shot attempted off the bench still. That's Riss Miller.
Yeah, and only 13 points. And one thing that I noticed is the amount of turnovers that Kent State has had. 9 for Kent State compared to only 3 for Miami. And that's interesting that Miami just hasn't been able to convert on those turnovers. They haven't been able to capitalize on those opportunities. And I think we're seeing that with that transition offense that they're running and how they're getting the shots, but they're maybe taking them a bit too quickly and not getting the quality chances that they might want to look for.
Based on the stats that we're seeing here, it's telling me Kent State doesn't have any points off turnovers. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Honestly, they had a few there that I think were.
It seemed like a couple of those Babbitt threes were definitely off turnovers.
Yeah,
there.
We'll go off that for now, but we'll look over some of the broad stats so far here today. Of course, 39-25 the score, Kent State leading. The Golden Flashes are shooting 46.7% from the field. They are 7 for 11 from deep. That's a 63.6% mark. 4 for 6 from the line. Miami is 29.4% from the field, 30.8% from deep, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. They still have to get their offense going. You look at some of the other numbers. Kent State is just dominating and mauling the Red Hawks down low. 27-25 in the rebounding battle. They lead the points in paint battle 12-8, and they're really doing anything they want down low, leading in defensive rebounds 20-11 and offensive rebounds 7-4. Like you mentioned, those turnover numbers are pretty jarring. We talked about the lack of production from Kent State's bench. Miami on their side only has 2 points off the bench, so it's not like they're getting too much bench point generation over there. Looking at the two teams, what we've seen so far, what do you want to see from each squad? If you're Kent State, what do you want to see from them to keep the momentum going and advance to the semifinals for the 9th time in 10 years? And if you're Miami, how do they get back into this game?
Well, I think it's going to be tough for Kent State to be able to maintain this lead. I feel like Miami is going to come out of the second half angry, maybe felt like they did a little wrong in terms of maybe some bad luck with Kent State making some really tough shots there with Babbitt and her 3-point streak that she was on. So they're going to come out firing, and they're really going to look to maybe get that transition offense going, or maybe try to take a little bit of a different approach, maybe go a little bit slower. But we'll see what happens here in the third quarter. And I'm just going to say, even though it's a 14-point lead for Kent State, this game is in no way over. Miami still has plenty of momentum, plenty of chances here to get back in this game.
Yeah, especially in a tournament, you never know what can happen. And with Miami's defense, they always say defense wins championships. It'll be interesting to see how much of a fact, if they can turn that defense into some offense, which has been the main struggle for them. So we're about 3.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll take a few minutes off once again. When we come back, we will have the start of the third quarter between Kent State and Miami of Ohio here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. 39-25 the score at halftime. Kent State up. You're listening to the MAC tournament here on Falcon Radio.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture,
The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of heart disease. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
On February 11th, 2025, BGSU senior forward Marcus Johnson nailed an improbable corner three-pointer at the buzzer to give Bowling Green a lead over the Ohio Bobcats going into halftime. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call on Falcon Radio.
Thomas looking for someone to inbound it to. Gets it to Johnson. Corner three, fading away to baseline. Marcus Johnson nails it. Bowling Green goes into half with the 2-point advantage, 34-32 on the miracle shot by Johnson.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
About 30 seconds away from a third quarter action here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. 39-25, Kent State leading Miami. It's been a great experience so far here, day one of the MAC tournament, second game of a 4-game slate. What's been your favorite part about Cleveland and this experience, your first year up here at the MAC tournament, Henry?
Well, I've got to say, every time I've come to a Cavs game here in Cleveland, I feel like I'm always in the nosebleeds and being down here. Even if we're just a couple rows lower towards the court, it's still pretty cool, the view that we got here. And I'm excited, it's going to be a long haul here between these few days. You'll be hearing our voices a lot here on Falcon Radio, and
if we still have them.
Yeah, if we still have them, right. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's a great experience for us. It's a great experience for the players, the coaches, everyone involved.
We thank you all for tuning in to our coverage for this event. We will have it all 4 days that it runs up until Saturday night. Back underway. Miami with the ball. Almost lost it. They regain control. Miami now going left to right. Kent State will be going right to left. Three-pointer launched and drained here by Amber Shredder. She's had a few misses from beyond the arc, but she gets one to go there. 39-28, down to an 11-point lead for Kent State.
Yeah, a tough day for her. 2 for 8 from the field. Now hits a 3 there, and that's what Miami's going to need. They're going to need to start hitting those shots and getting those open looks. Cuts the lead to 11.
And Deanna Gray missed a layup on the other end. Went out of bounds. Miami's going to take the ball. Shredder setting a screen there. Now gets the ball. Kicks it into the corner. Good ball movement by Miami. It's Gonzalez working inside. Through contact. Wow. Gets the layup to go. And one opportunity. And just like that, it's down to single digits, the deficit for the Redhawks. Chance to bring it down to just an 8-point lead for Kent State. 39-30.
I gotta say, Angelina Gonzalez is a special player out there on the court. She really kind of sets herself apart in her own play style. Really versatile, very shifty. She's very good on the ball and gets herself to the line and makes the free throw there.
Fourth in the MAC in points per game this season at 16.9. She is into double digits now with that and one, up to a team high 11 points with Maya Chandler. Janae Tyler with it down low, double teamed. Still doesn't stop her. She gets a shot off and gets fouled. So she will go to the line.
More free throws for Janae Tyler.
Just continues to be a force down there, and Miami still, even with that time in the locker room, does not have an answer for her just yet. Glenn Box, head coach for Miami, after that was pleading on the sidelines for his team to just have their hands up and stay straight up because they are really trying to attack.
Hi everybody, I'm Jack Hanna. Since I was a boy, I've been fascinated with animals, especially their tireless work ethic. Just look at birds who gather supplies to build nests, or penguins who travel up to 500 miles to secure food for their families. This work ethic is shared by our best friends, canines who perform life-saving work every day. Dogs comfort returning veterans. They work with diabetics, alerting them when there's a change in their blood chemistry. Working dogs are valuable in many ways. So please join me and American Humane in supporting our heroic working dogs. Go to AmericanHumane.org to learn more.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain, and reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives like physical therapy to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpt.com to find a physical therapist in your area.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Apologies for the technical difficulties there. Wasn't sure exactly how long we were off there, Henry. To update everyone, it is a 43-34 game. Kent State leading Miami of Ohio. Had some back and forth action over the past couple of minutes. Both teams trading blows. Been a little bit of the same for this entire third quarter. Neither team's really had the upper hand, but you have seen a lot more energy coming from that Miami side.
Yeah, you haven't missed too much. It's been tough both ways here. Bash has gone back on the board. We've seen a couple free throws from Tyler. As
Tyler's call. I believe it's going to be fouled against Tyler. It will be. Her reaction made it seem like she committed the foul. She was almost angry at first. I think she didn't hear it exactly correctly, but it will be on Ilsa DeFries. That'll be her first. No free throws for Kent State, but they'll still have the ball. Jenna Bash with it, working around a Janae Tyler screen, but she has double-teamed. Bash hit, taking a second to rebound after it's thrown away by Kent State. Gonzalez with it on the other end for Miami. Bash seems to be all right. Looks like she may have been hit up in the face area, but she seems good. Gonzalez left alone for a three-pointer. Good closeout by Kent State. She couldn't believe the shot that she took. Short-armed it. That came up like 10 feet short of the rim.
Interesting. I'm not sure if the Kent State defender there got a hand on it, but it
didn't look like it. It looked like from our angle that she saw the closeout, kind of rushed it, and almost T-Rex short-armed it.
That was odd. She'll take the inbounds now.
Her reaction was like disbelief. She couldn't believe she took a shot of that quality. She'll pass up another opportunity here for a triple and pass it inside instead, as it's going to be a fadeaway jumper missed by DeFries.
A makeup look there for the Redhawks. Kind of turnaround jumper from DeFries. Not really what they want to see there shot-wise.
Babbitt takes it the other way and gives it off here to Deanna Gray. Gray driving inside. 5'4" guard loses it. Goes out baseline. Another turnover for Deanna Gray. That is Gray's fourth turnover of the game, tied with Jenna Bash for the most on Kent State.
Keep in mind, Jenna Bash, leading scorer for this team, averaging 17 a game, and she has just been stifled by this MAC-leading Red Hawk defense.
Just 2 points here in the third quarter. It's a block down low by Bridget Dunn. It was Amber Treader trying to get something going down low, and Bridget Dunn denied that. Kent State with it on the other end. Deanna Gray gives it down low to Bridget Dunn. She falling to the ground. Actually, I believe that may be Riz Miller. Elsa DeFries will pick up the foul, her second foul, as Riz Miller went to the ground. Going to be inbound for Kent State off baseline. They give it to Riz Miller, and it's going to be a travel call. She was trying to get around the defender, double team there, pushed around a little bit, shuffled her feet. Going to be Miami ball.
It's yet another careless turnover here as Journey Hildebrand checks in for the Flashes, and a new face in for the Flashes. Megan Murray, guard, 5'5" freshman out of Hampton, PA, checks in.
And Jenna Bash picked up a foul. That'll be her third, so she checks out. That's her fifth turnover. Bash and Riz Miller check out. Journey Hildebrand and Janae Tyler check in for the Golden Flashes. Mid-range jumper drained on the other end by Maya Chandler. She's taken a lot of shots this game, 14 of them, 5 for 14 from the field, 3 for 5 from deep. She has 13 points.
Yeah, 60% from three, but 35% from the field.
As Megan Murray on the other end missed a layup. And we have a substitution, I believe, for the Golden Flashes. Deanna Gray checks in for Megan Murray, who just missed that layup. And we're going to have another traveling call.
Another turnover for Kent State.
And that was a turnover by Maya Babbitt. Just basically same spot of the court where she shuffled her feet that Riz Miller did a few minutes ago.
There's no coherence right now on the offensive side of the ball for Kent State, and we're seeing Miami just slowly work their way back into this game.
43-36 the score, 5.5 to play in the third quarter here at Rocket Arena. A lot of ball movement on the outside for Miami. Driving inside and drawing the foul is Tamar Singer. Deanna Gray picks up her first foul of the game.
These will be Singer's first free throws of the night. 75% free throw shooter for Singer.
Hits the first. Kent State's gone to the line 8 times this game. They've made 6. This is the 6th attempt upcoming for Miami, and they have nailed 5 of them as Tamar Singer goes 2 for 2 from the line. Down to a 5-point game, Henry, after a 16-0 run just about 20 minutes ago. 43-38 the score, Kent State leading. Deanna Gray with the ball, gives it off to Bridget Dunn. Dunn for Kent State, falling to the ground, passing it off, but she is going to be fouled. That foul going to be on Amber Treader. And Kent State will maintain possession as Bridget Dunn goes to the line. 2 free throws for Dunn. Dunn on the season is a pretty good free throw shooter, 83.3% from the line. As she hits the first, up to 12 points here today.
As the game winds down, these free throws become more and more crucial, especially for Kent State, really trying to just control the game here and maintain their lead.
And they are better than anyone else at hitting free throws as Bridget Dunn goes 2 for 2, up to 13 points of the game. 78.8% from the line this season, the best mark in the Mid-American Conference. Miami's not too bad when they get to the line either, 75.9% third in the MAC. It is a kicked ball, so it'll stay Miami possession when we come back, but that takes us to our media timeout. 4:55 left to play in the third quarter. Kent State leading Miami by 7, 45-38. You're listening to MAC Tournament Action here on Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere.
I can't believe you found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presence, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
4:55 to play in the third quarter. 45-38 the score, and it's really tightened up in this quarter. Went to halftime, and it was a huge lead for the Golden Flashes, well over double digits. But like we mentioned earlier in this quarter, the energy has come from Miami. You've seen some slip-ups with this Kent State team. A few turnovers by some key players, Jenna Bash and Deanna Gray. Bash, like we've mentioned, still yet to get going. Yeah. What's been the difference in this quarter for the Redhawks, Henry?
Well, they're facilitating the game, and they're controlling the game with the pace that they want to play. They love to play a slower pace and just physically wear down their opponents. And they've been doing that with Kent State, really forcing these turnovers and just... and their offensive style has really switched as well. They've gone from maybe a transition offense in the first half that wasn't necessarily getting them the looks that they wanted to get, and now they're really slowing it down, running some plays, getting their key players, Gonzalez, Chandler, Singer, getting them these looks and getting them to the free throw line, and they've just been gradually chipping away at this lead, now 7 for Kent State.
The shooting splits have changed here in the third quarter. Miami has outscored Kent State 13-6 in this quarter. They are shooting 4 for 8 from the field. Kent State's just 1 for 3. The Golden Flashes have not launched a three-pointer. They took 11 in the first half. And Miami is 1 for 3 from deep. Both teams 4 for 4 from the line in the past 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, Kent State took 8 shots. Miami took 8 shots so far in this quarter. Kent State only 3 from them, so that's where you're seeing that discrepancy. Is we're going to start it off on the free throw line, or for an out of bounds play for Gonzalez.
It'll be an inbound from the baseline. Gonzalez inbounding, like you said. Gives it off here to Maya Chandler. Back to Gonzalez, top of the key. She drives in, loves that mid-range shot, and she drains it. Mid-range is kind of going out of, especially in the NBA, it's kind of fading out of relevancy. Some players still love to take it. Gonzalez is one of them. Hits it there to make it a 5-point game, 45-40.
Considered a low percentage look, but when you can make it regardless. Gonzalez can definitely do that.
Janae Tyler working inside once again. X factor of this game. Gets that shot to go. Little hook shot. And the layup. 47-40, 7-point advantage for the Golden Flashes. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Pesky player that's all over the stat sheet.
Wide open for a three-pointer here. And draining it is Ilsa DeFries. She's up to 5 points on the game. Tamar Singer gets her 4th assist. Deanna Gray on the other end, up to 6 assists here today.
Yeah.
Kind of filling the stat sheet is Gray. Kent State working inside. Tough contested layup made there by Journey Hildebrand, newly checked in for the Golden Flashes.
How about that? Kent State bench finally on the board. First points.
Took a little bit.
Yeah.
Journey Hildebrand getting the first bench points for the Golden Flashes. As on the other end, working inside and missing the wide open layup is Ilsa DeFries.
I mean, just look how slow this pace has gotten. Look at how much time Gray is taking to even get up the floor.
Both teams just tightening up their defenses in the second half. I bet that was a major thing that both head coaches hammered in halftime, is both defenses just need to get better, and they have from what we've seen. Deanna Gray, another turnover. Her 5th turnover of the game. Amber Treader credited with her 2nd steal before Janae Tyler picks up a foul. That'll be her 2nd. Treader goes to the line. Amber Treader today, 1 for 1 from the charity stripe.
I mean, with the amount of turnovers that Kent State had in that first part of the first half, I'm sure they're really just trying to slow down a little bit, remind themselves of, bigger picture, what you're trying to do with this lead. You're not trying to come back from a deficit. You're trying to maintain the lead and playing slower ball here. But in this environment, it's not a super loud crowd. There's a solid crowd down here, but it's nothing like maybe it would be if it was in the home arena, and the emotions are high for the players. It's a win-or-go-home game, and every little thing matters, and you just have to remember that as a player.
Both free throws made by Amber Treader. She's in a double-digit scoring. 3 players in each team in double digits for Miami. Chandler and Gonzalez have 13, along with Treader's 10 for the Golden Flashes. Maya Babbitt leads all scorers with 14. Bridget Dunn has 13, and Janae Tyler with 11. Missed shot rebounded by Treader. As Miami goes on the offensive, Deanna Gray with the jumper. That was off the mark. DeFries had the rebound. And now a three-pointer launched and no good by Miami. That was Tamar Singer off the mark. Maya Babbitt secured her 4th rebound. Deanna Gray with the ball for the Golden Flashes, far side wing. Gray looking for a screen, it appears. She gets it, works around it. Screened by Rismiller. We're going to have a whistle.
That's going to be on Herho. Herho is really, really being physical with Gray, trying to get that ball out of her hands.
She's acting like she doesn't exactly know what it is, but like you said, she is being physical on that defense. So Gonzalez will check in for Herho. Actually, no, she'll stay in the game.
Herho, Barcelona, Spain native, sophomore, stands 5 feet 10.
Maya Chandler instead checks out of the game. First free throw by Deanna Gray is good. Gray just her 4th point of the contest, but she's contributing everywhere else. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. She hits both. Something to watch. Bridget Dunn's just a rebound away from a double-double. 13 points, 9 rebounds. She has been on the All-MAC tournament team a time or two before. Shot there, no good by Gonzalez. Mid-range jumper once again to not go. Deanna Gray, her 7th rebound of the game. Just 5'4" in the right place at the right time. A little scrappiness helps too.
Yeah, Gray and Dunn, similar players, not players that you're really going to say their name too much in the broadcast, but they're crucial parts of this team.
Gray kicks it out. Wide open three-pointer, no good by Hildebrand. Only points on the bench today coming from Hildebrand for the Golden Flashes. Gonzalez with it on the far side wing for the Red Hawks. Driving inside into past the free throw line into the paint area. Running layup does not go. It'll be out of bounds. We're going to have a foul, a loose ball foul, as Amber Treader hit the deck. The foul's going to be on Amber Treader, who fell down on that play. That'll be her 4th personal foul, so I'd have to imagine she'll go out of the game here.
These two teams are racking up the fouls here in this quarter. Kent State in the bonus right now.
Maya Babbitt was fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 for the Golden Flashes. Amber Treader, Herho checking out. Maya Chandler back in along with Corey Lard. Babbitt averages just over 11 points a game. Misses the first out front iron. Today she's at 14, game-leading 14 points. 5 for 6 from the field, 4 for 5 from deep. All of that coming in the first half. Has not scored or taken a shot from the field officially here in the second half. But adds on to that point total with 15 as she makes a free throw. 1 for 2 on that trip.
The Red Hawks really made sure she hasn't gotten any more of those open three-point looks. They really shut her down here in this quarter.
Minute to play in the third quarter here at Rocket Arena. 52-45 the score. Kent State leading. Miami with the ball, driving inside. Pass here from Singer. Trying to find Gonzalez. Miscommunication. Gonzalez wasn't ready for it or far enough to the ball. And it goes out on the baseline for a turnover there by Tamar Singer. Kent State will take over possession, 53.3 on the clock.
That's a case there with Singer where you're kind of predicting what you're going to do before it happens, before she even drove the lane. I think she thought, okay, I'm going to pass this to Gonzalez, but by the time she got down into her spot, Gonzalez wasn't open and wasn't looking for the pass.
And Singer's been great at facilitating today.
Yeah.
Team high 4 assists. That's just her first turnover.
Yeah.
I think they'll take a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio from her. Janae Tyler with the ball, just inside the three-point line, driving inside, double-teamed, kicks it out. Hildebrand launching a three, way off the mark. Doesn't even hit rim, and it goes out of bounds before Bash can save it. So 34.2 on the clock, 4.2 seconds. Difference between game clock and shot clock. 52-45, Kent State leads Miami. Clock is running here in the third quarter.
These last possessions here matter, especially for the Red Hawks, trying to use all the time that they have. 7 down here going in the fourth quarter.
Nice jumper here is no good, though, by the Red Hawks. It's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Kent State ball. Maya Chandler unable to hit the jumper. There's a little step-back move. And Kent State's going to have the ball. Shot clock off. 15.6 seconds to play. You'd have to imagine they'll hold it to the final shot. If you remember the end of the first half, Bridget Dunn hit a three-pointer with the buzzer sounding. They'll be looking for that type of play again. Now 10 seconds to play as Deanna Gray has the ball. Gray moving to her left, top of the key. Crossover, trying to get inside. Does work inside with 1.4 on the clock. She is fouled, putting up a layup. She'll go to the line for 2.
Just a high motor play. Getting down and getting the opportunity to draw the contact is part of the job. And
Herho with the foul, her second.
3 for 4 from the free throw line today for Gray. See if we can make 2 more. 1.4 left on the clock.
Deanna Gray, 5 points for the game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Bridget Dunn, by the way, did get that 10th rebound, so she now has a double-double. I believe, is that the first double-double of the tournament? I don't think, was there anyone in the last game?
Yeah.
I don't think there was. As Deanna Gray hits both from the line. 1.4 to play for Miami. They'll have to go to the length of the court. 54-45, Kent State leads. And Gonzalez just going to ride the clock, not going to attempt the shot. We go to the fourth quarter. Kent State with a 9-point advantage over the Miami Redhawks, 54-45. 10 minutes to play in this one at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Tyler Cablett's alongside Henry Costco. We'll take a break and be right back with you for the start of the fourth quarter. You're listening to Mid-American Conference Tournament Basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
Hey BGSU students, this is your opportunity to host your very own radio show or podcast. Get involved with Falcon Radio and quickly learn the skills you need to produce your own program. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be armed with the information you need to operate studio equipment, put on your own live shows, or recorded content. Students from all disciplines are encouraged to get involved and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use world-class facilities to create your own podcast. Falcon Radio, for Falcons, by Falcons.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the US EPA.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Newly named Rocket Arena, away from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the 4th iteration of the name of this building here in downtown Cleveland. Kent State leading Miami of Ohio 54-45 as we are about to begin fourth quarter action. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Henry Costco from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this. We, alongside everyone else here covering this tournament for Falcon Media Sports Network, will have coverage of all 4 days of the event across our radio channels here on Falcon Radio and our sister station on WBGU 88.1 FM, along with stories and content on bgfalconmedia.com, live updates, and some more content on our Twitter X account, BG_FMSN, and our YouTube channel, BG Falcon Media. Deanna Gray with the ball for Kent State. We are underway. Final 10 minutes of this contest. Janae Tyler with it down low, puts up a shot, does not go, but she is fouled. It's a common trend. She either makes a shot down there or she misses and is fouled. There's not many misses without any other result.
Yeah, impressive from Tyler, really. Just her ability to be able to consistently get to the line, and it shows the physicality that she plays with and maybe the trouble that the Redhawks have had stifling her and controlling her play style here in this one.
Janae Tyler, 11 points on the day. That free throw rattles out. She was 5 for 6 on the line before that. You mentioned about a 50-50 free throw shooter this season. Now 5 for 7. 3 for 7 from the field. She has 6 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And she misses both. So kind of reverting back towards that free throw percentage mark. You point out off air something with Miami that stuck out of the box minus statistical category.
Yeah, also DeFreeze, minus 15 on the floor. She's only played 18 minutes on the game. Also, Amber Treader with minus 10. Jenna Bash, the LMAC first team member, minus 5.
Interesting numbers there. As there's a jumper missed by Gonzalez, but she is fouled. So she will not go to the line. Must have been an off-ball foul. As Miami will keep possession and inbound it here. Kicked outside off the inbound. Gonzalez trying to get it across the court. She was trying to find Tamar Singer in the corner, but it was knocked out of bounds by Kent State. So Miami of Ohio will maintain possession.
A clock winding down here for them to kind of make this comeback. 9 points, 9:15 left in this one. We're going to see maybe a little bit of desperation as this clock winds down.
3-pointer launch there. That'll help. Maya Chandler connecting from deep. 54-48, Kent State leading. Kent State has led for over 60% of this game. Their largest lead was 14 points. Deanna Gray trying the reverse layup. Came up short off the rim. Miami of Ohio takes it the other way, and Deanna Gray commits a foul there.
Yeah, a bit of a transition foul. Didn't want.
Yeah, if that's the NBA, that's a free throw right there for a transition foul.
Yeah. I just don't want basket there off of a tough play on the offensive side of the ball.
It's kind of funny when that foul was instituted. You saw so many of those. You rarely see it nowadays, it feels like, because players are so adjusted for it. No foul of such kind in college basketball just yet, at least. As tremendous job by Kate Richardson working down low. Little reverse layup of her own. Gets it to go. 54-50. Miami's within 4. This is their chance within striking range to really take control of this game away from Kent State. 8:15 and counting to play in the contest. Hildebrand with it, gives it off to Deanna Gray. Deep three-pointer, misses off front iron. Rebounded, though, by Bridget Dunn. She misses the putback, gets her own rebound again. There's going to be a foul called. It'll be against Miami. Question is who? Amber.
Timeout on the floor.
Maybe it was a timeout.
Yeah, it was a timeout.
I heard a whistle, so it must have been a timeout. you'd assume, by Kent State there.
I think there was a foul, but I think maybe the timeout happened before the foul. It looked like it was going to be Richardson.
Yeah,
that for it.
I think you may be correct there. Couple players on the floor. One player on the floor, one player on the bench have to worry about fouls. Jenna Bash currently not on the floor.
Yeah.
She has 4 personal. And for Miami, you have Amber Treader. She is on the floor. She has 4 personal of her own. But that'll take us to a little bit of a timeout here. We'll take it with them. 8:03 to play in the contest. Kent State leading Miami 54-50. You're listening to MAC Tournament Basketball right here on Falcon Radio.
For the 4th consecutive year, Falcon Media Sports Network will have coverage of the entire MAC men's and women's basketball tournament at Rockin' Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. The women's tournament will start on Wednesday, March 12th, with the men's beginning on Thursday, March 13th. Both championship games will be held on Saturday, March 15th. Broadcasts of all BGSU women's basketball games and both championship contests will air on WBGU 88.1 FM. All other games will air on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com. To keep up with all the coverage by Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz, Lucas Kleinmeyer, Artie Abrego, Caden Knapp, Henry Costco, Jack Rintema, and Dane Leiniger. Check out bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter X, and head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Isaac.
Back here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Kent State leading Miami 54-50, 8:03 to play in the game. Had an announcement there that after review, so I believe they were reviewing something. I didn't exactly hear what they said afterwards. We'll have to see when they come back. So there was an official review of some sort while we were there off on the break.
Yeah, I believe they were reviewing maybe the foul there on Richardson that could potentially be coming back, but it's kind of confusing with the timeout that they called, whether that was...
Because it's a very early timeout in the quarter. Usually you'll see them somewhere in the 4 to 6 minute range left to go. This one's still just 1:57 played in the quarter.
Yeah, just interesting. You know, you wonder if maybe that timeout was part of the review. As you see, it looks like the refs are talking to one of the coaches over here, and they'll get some more info over here at the scorers table.
Fortunately, we're a little bit away from the scorers table, so I don't think we'll be able to eavesdrop on that conversation too easily.
Yeah, but I mean, 54-50 here. Miami has done a good job of kind of bringing it from when it was an 11-point lead now down to only 4 and really making it manageable going into these last 4 minutes of the game. It's going to be an inbound for Kent State, it looks like.
Will be an inbound for Kent State. Jenna Bash passing it in. Bridget Dunn with it. Gives it off to Deanna Gray, far side wing. Gray trying to drive inside. Spot up mid-range jumper from the free throw line. It's no good, but a tremendous job to get the rebound. And Kent State can't capitalize on it. Janaea Tyler missing the shot.
I believe that was Babbitt who kind of saved her from going out of bounds, got it to Tyler, but not able to convert there.
Amber Treader securing the rebound for Miami, her 8th. Red Hawks still looking for something on the outside. They're down by 4, 7.5 to play. Spot up mid-range jumper, no good.
It's another mid-range miss from Richardson. Not really the shot you want in that situation.
She struggled from that range. Janae Tyler with it down low. One-on-one matchup. She draws a foul. They're going to say no shot. So they're going to say the foul was on the floor before the shot by Katie Richardson. So a couple tough possessions there. She misses the mid-range, then commits the foul. There will be no free throws as it was before the shot. It'll be an inbound. Deanna Gray inbounding it for Kent State.
Yeah, Kent State out of the bonus now after the quarter reset.
Also to Freeze checking in for Richardson. Hildebrand has it for Kent State off the inbound. Driving inside before yet another foul. Foul on Maya Chandler before a shot. So Kent State will inbound it once again on this possession. taking some time off the clock, down to 7 minutes to play. Janae Tyler gives it off to Deanna Gray. 15 on the shot clock. They have time to work with. Missed shot there. It's going to be rebounded by the Red Hawks, and they'll take it the other way, looking to cut this deficit and get closer. And we're going to have a kicked ball before the pass gets to Ilsa DeFries. It was Babbitt missing the three-pointer on the other end.
Tyler is going to check out. It looks like Rissmiller is going to come in here.
It's their rotation. They have, Bridget Dunn, Janae Tyler, and Rissmiller, those three bigs, switching out for Todd Starkey's squad. Chance of defense coming from the Kent State side of the stands. Missed three-pointer off the mark there. And Kent State will take it the other way. Maya Chandler couldn't line it up.
With Bash basically a non-factor sitting on the bench right now with 4 fouls, it's going to be interesting to see how Kent State can hold on and try to score some points here with this offense.
Well, they found a way so far today. She has just 6 points in the contest, nearly as many fouls as she does points. I don't think anyone would have expected that coming into this game. Nice ball movement. Deanna Gray working inside, gives it off to Riz Miller, who kicks it out to Dunn for a three-pointer straight up from top of the key, but she can't hit it. 6 minutes to play, still just a 4-point advantage for Kent State, 54-50 over Miami. Ball now kicked out for a three-point attempt, which is airballed.
Nice.
Nowhere close by Gonzalez.
Back-to-back airballs from that side of the court, specifically Richardson earlier, and now Gonzalez.
Deanna Gray just going to chew some clock off and try to run this out a little bit longer. Bridget Dunn gives it off here now to Hildebrand. Journey Hildebrand works inside, goes to the ground off contact. No foul called. She missed the layup. Gonzalez with it on the other end for Miami, driving baseline. Gives it off here to DeFries, and she can't hit the spot-up jumper. Wide open look there for DeFries. She's had a tough day.
Trouble with Miami right now. I don't think the score hasn't changed in the past couple of minutes. We're on a bit of a scoring drought right now.
Kent State scoreless for nearly 5 minutes. Miami scoreless for just over 3, nearly 3.5. Red Hawks are on a 5-0 run, believe it or not, but nobody scored in about 3.5 minutes. As we do have a Kent State foul leading to a timeout. Riley Rissmiller with her first foul. And that'll take us to a media timeout. 4:58 to play in the fourth quarter. Kent State still leading Miami. We're in a gridlock offensively. Golden Flash is up 54-50. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Henry Costco here. Mid-American Conference Basketball on Falcon Radio.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
4 minutes, 58 seconds left to decide who advances to the semifinals and faces Ball State, the number 1 seed, who steamrolled Western Michigan by, 29 points?
Yeah.
I believe earlier in the first game today. Just an absolute unit is that Cardinals team led by Brady Salee this year. They are going to be tough for anyone to take down. Miami playing in their first Mid-American Conference tournament since the 2018-2019 season. Meanwhile, you have Todd Starkey's squad, who has been to the semifinals in 8 of the 9 seasons under head coach Todd Starkey, trying to make that 9 out of 10, which is an incredible mark. It's been a back and forth battle. We've seen, really, except for that 16-0 run. Feels weird saying except for the 16-0 run, which is the most important part of this game. But you take that out, it's been a tight gridlock back and forth game. There hasn't really been too much of an upper hand outside of that so far today.
Yeah, Miami best defense in the MAC, as we mentioned, and playing like it right now, holding Kent State under 60 points with 5 minutes left in this one. And I mean, we saw the offensive dominance from Ball State in game one. It really couldn't be much more different in this one.
And if you remember that magic number we talked about in our shortened pregame show, 70 points for Miami. They're 11-0 when they score 70 points. They are 20 below that right now with 4:58 to play. So it's safe to say they probably won't hit that, although you never know. Kent State scored 16 points in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they can do enough to get the win. You mentioned Jenna Bash. She's still not out there in the floor. Just 6 points today for the Kent State leading scorer. 4 personal fouls. She'll stay on the bench for a little bit as Gonzalez has had a tough time recently. Misses another mid-range jumper that has not been her friend as of late.
Yeah, she's trying to do it herself here on the isolated looks and taking the mid-range shots.
She's had good looks.
Yeah, but 5 for 15 from the field.
Bridget Dunn gives it to Deanna Gray. Great pass to a wide-open Janae Tyler. She got the advantage down low, had the look, was fouled on the missed layup. Foul is on Ilsa DeFries. She has had a tough day.
Yeah.
You're right, that fourth foul. She today, 5 points, 2 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from deep. In that latest stat sheet that we were given, her plus minus still sitting at -15.
That's 3 Redhawks now with 4 fouls. Treader, Richardson, and DeFries.
First free throw from Janae Tyler's good. She's up to 12 points here today. Misses the second one. Maya Chandler, the leading scorer of the game, 16 points. Maya Babbitt, on the other end for Kent State, has 15, 14 of those coming in the first half. Here's a moving jumper, no good. That was by Maya Chandler. Could not get it to go. Deanna Gray with the ball, 4 minutes and counting left to play at Rocket Arena. 55-50, Kent State maintaining that 5-point advantage. Janae Tyler double team down low, finds a wide open cutting Deanna Gray, running baseline, and she gets the reverse to go. The 5'4" guard, putting Kent State back up by 7.
Great recognition of the position of Tyler. There's a missed 3 by Miami. Yeah, but great recognition by Gray to just recognize Tyler was kind of getting double teamed down there, as we've talked about all the success that she's had against Miami, and kind of sneaking down there right by the line and getting an easy layup.
Yeah, that was Amber Treader missing a 3-pointer. Gonzalez and Bash fighting for the rebound. Bash with those 4 personal fouls. Possession arrow on the held ball went towards Miami, as Maya Chandler now missed a 3-pointer. That goes out of bounds. Last off Kent State, so Gonzalez will inbound it for the Redhawks. Swung across the outside a few times. Going to be a mid-range jumper. Will not fall. Rebounded by Bridget Dunn. Miami cannot get anything to fall. Scoreless for over 5 minutes and 1 for their last 10 from the field. Maya Chandler missing a couple shots in the past minute.
It's at the worst possible time. They got the lead down to 4, and then just since then
team has gone ice cold. Kent State's also 1 for their last 12.
Man.
So combined, we have 2 for 22 between these teams, as make it 2 for 23 as a missed 3-pointer by Bridget Dunn.
Good pass.
Terrific pass there to find a wide open Amber Treader down low. And right back where they were, though, a 5-point deficit. That's where they were a couple minutes ago, has not moved. That ends the long scoring drought that was over 5 minutes for the Redhawks. We have 2:40 and counting to play in the 4th and final quarter. As there's a huge shot by Jenna Bash, stepping up when they need her to. Fade away on the baseline, extends it back to a 7-point lead for Kent State, 59-52. That forces Miami to take a 30-second timeout. 2:31 to play.
Yeah, I mean, Kent State retaliating right back. 5 points is kind of the borderline there of where you're at 2 possessions and where things can kind of go back quickly. And Kent State doing a good job bringing it back to 3 possessions. And Jenna Bash really kind of making up for a tough game there with a clutch shot. Gives her 8th point on the night.
Yeah, I mean, Miami just worked so hard to get it back so close. And then they just went ice cold and have not been able to buy a bucket. Both defenses have really tightened up. Got to give credit to that part of the game. Yeah. Both defenses have done their job here in the second half and made everything hard for each side.
But, I mean, it's just tough because this is what their season is going to come down to at the end of the day, just getting the looks and just not being able to make the shots. And it's disappointing for Glenn Bucks.
Still a chance they can come back in it. A lot of time left as there's a 3-pointer missed right as I say that. Off the mark there by Katie Richardson. She's had a tough day from the field, 2 for 5. That was her first 3-point attempted. Jenna Bash with it. And it's going to be stolen away here. Pass up the court, going to be blocked away by Bridget Dunn off the shot.
Going with
Tamar Singer got the steal, tried to pass it up court. Maya Chandler went for the layup, and Dunn knocked it away.
Going with an underhand layup there was not the move for Chandler. She just ran right into a big Kent State defender there.
You would love to see her just go up strong there. Go through some contact, get the ball up to an apex, and keep it away from being able to be swatted away from the much taller Bridget Dunn.
Yeah, you're not going to sneak one around her.
You will not. Bridget Dunn has been tremendous this season and this game. 13 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks for Bridget Dunn.
How about this? Deanna Gray 1 point away from a double-double and 6 assists on top of that 9 points, 10 rebounds.
At the line after a Tamar Singer foul, her 3rd. Todd Starkey has 3 of the players over by him in a huddle as Deanna Gray does get that double-double. How about that? 2 players on Kent State with a double-double in the same game. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, you don't see it. And credit to these stat stuffers, Dunn and Gray, both playing outstanding games.
Tremendous games by them. Deanna Gray misses the second one. She has 10 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists.
Wow, just a bad pass there.
Yeah, stolen off.
That was Singer, who just threw it right to Bash on the other side of the court.
Bash picks up her first steal of the game. Bridget Dunn, 13 points, 16 rebounds, and assists, and 3 steals. The other double-double. As Bash going to take a jumper on the baseline. That wasn't Bash. Pardon, that was Maya Babbitt nailing the jumper. Her 17th point of the game. That retakes the game lead. And that extends it to a 10-point advantage. Going to be hard for Miami at this point to come back. 1:17 left. We've seen crazier things, especially in college basketball. But Kent State seems to be pulling away late.
Yeah, they're going to have to resort to fouling here probably after this, depending on how this next possession goes for them, and rely on some missed free throws, which we haven't really seen Kent State miss those free throws today.
Kent State's done a tremendous job down the stretch of their offense. Not going to paint it like they've been amazing, but their offense down the stretch has made shots when they needed it to.
Well, yeah, they've gotten the job done, right? They've played kind of to the weaknesses of Miami's defense, more or less, and not really relying on their main guys and passing the ball around, giving everyone equal looks, passing the ball down low and mixing it up, and giving a variation of looks to the Red Hawks have ultimately kind of did them in the end.
How about this? The 2 teams in this 4th quarter have combined to shoot, we'll see how good my math is here, have combined to shoot 6 for 27 from the field. As driving inside, reverse layup does not go by Maya Chandler. But she will be fouled. See who they assign it to. Deanna Gray. That'll be Deanna Gray's 3rd personal foul. And Maya Chandler will go to the line. Chandler has not attempted a free throw so far today. She hits it. Converts the and one opportunity. 62-55 the score. Kent State leading down to a minute to play. Bridget Dunn hit the floor but got the pass off in time. And they will foul, I believe. That is Maya Babbitt.
We're going to get into the dog days here of this final minute as Miami's just going to try to grind down Kent State. And
that was Maya Babbitt who was fouled. She was fouled by Gonzalez. Just Gonzalez's first personal foul.
So Lucretia Edwards checking in at number 4 for Miami, sophomore, 6 foot out of Chilliwack, British Columbia.
It's a fun name to say. Interesting place. Babbitt hits the first from the line. She's closing in on a possible 20-point game up to 19. She gets fouled one more time. She'll have a chance at a 20-point contest. Chandler with the ball. Gives it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez driving inside, gets the layup to go. Gonzalez up to 15 points. 64-57, 49.2 seconds to play, and we have another timeout on the floor.
30-second timeout, Kent State.
Another 30-second timeout, this time by Todd Starkey and Kent State. We'll stick with you through it. 49.2 seconds to play, 64-57 left to go in the fourth quarter. Second of 4 games here in the Mid-American Conference Tournament, the women's quarterfinals today. Tomorrow will be the men's quarterfinals. The final 2 games today are Toledo against Central Michigan. That'll be about 30 minutes after this one ends on Falcon Radio as well. You'll be on that call, Henry, along with Artie Brago. I think you're doing play-by-play.
I believe
your
so,
first basketball play-by-play. And then at about 6:30 or 30 minutes after the Toledo CMU game ends, it'll be Bowling Green against Buffalo. Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp will be on the call for that one on WBGU 88.1 FM. Tune into our sister station for that game as Bowling Green tries to continue their season and take down Buffalo for the first time in the Fred Schumill era. Off the inbound, Kent State fouled nearly immediately. Jenna Bash is fouled.
Yeah, Bash will go to the free throw line, but I think this game gives a lot of, what we like to see from Kent State and what Starkey really brings to this program. And, I think experience definitely played a big part in this, especially in terms of coaching and how you get this team through kind of the shooting rut that they were in, the turnover rut, getting that lead and then not really scoring for a extended period of time.
We talked about that no one on this Miami team, it's a jarring stat as Batch hits her first from the line, that not a player or a coach on this team has ever been to a MAC tournament before this. Like, they have literally no experience to rely upon of that they can confidently say, this is what we can expect and this is what we can prepare for. That has to be a crazy feeling when not even your coaches can tell you, this is going to be the environment. Like, there's no definitives.
Yeah.
It's kind of an open door.
Yeah, and you might make the argument, what difference does that make that they're playing well the whole season? It's just another game in the same season, but
it's
not
very
really
different.
It's a completely different environment in a completely different situation.
If you look at the setting, you're playing in an NBA arena, home of the best NBA team in the league, I may say.
Yeah.
But you're playing in an arena that holds over 20,000 when you're probably used to playing on one that holds maybe 10 at the most. And you're on a bigger stage. You're playing under the Humongotron. You're on the Cavs floor. You have a ton of media here, a ton of coverage. Both bands are playing. It is just a much bigger feel here in Cleveland. And there's a lot of pressure because it is win or go home. That's not the same as any game in the regular season because let's say you lose a game, you just get back on the road and you go for the next one and you still have a chance to fight for your season.
Right.
It's not the same here in Cleveland.
Things are different. The emotions of the players are so much higher. For the seniors, any game that you play could be the last one. It could be your last touch of,
because even if teams if you don't win this tournament, that does not mean that your team is going to accept a bid to a postseason tournament. We saw Toledo men's basketball do that last year.
Yeah.
They won the regular season for the 4th straight year in a row, got bounced in the first round by the 8th seed, and denied a bid to the NIT.
Yeah.
And their season was over, and their seniors, that was their final game. So it is definitely a high emotion experience. As we're going to have a travel called on Gonzalez. She tried to sidestep after a fake to go for a three-pointer top of the key, shuffled her feet, and that'll be a turnover.
Yeah, it's going to be an inbound from right around where those ESPN Plus commentators are sitting. 9-point lead for Kent State with 45 seconds left.
Jenna Bash gets the ball off the inbound. Still haven't fouled her. Still has not fouled. Almost brought it back behind the backcourt.
I don't think they're going to foul.
And they do.
And they do.
But they do foul Maya Babbitt. And that means Babbitt will have a chance for a 20-point game.
Babbitt at the line.
Babbitt sitting at 19 points currently.
I mean, the free throws for Kent State have just been crucial. Tyler, 6 for 10 from the free throw line for her. That's still above average for her, 54% free throw shooter on the season. 3 for 4 for Babbitt. We'll see what she gets. And these two, 6 for 8 from Gray and then 2 for 2 from both Dunn and Bash. So they've made those free throws when they've mattered. And at the end of the day, those free throws can be a deal breaker if you're missing them at crucial times.
Babbitt misses the first. 1 away from a 20-point game here at the MAC tournament. And she misses both,
Wow.
so sits at 19 still.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said anything there.
Commentator's curse, it never fails to impress. Either way for Babbitt. A tremendous game she's put in here today. An efficient game. 6 for 8 shooting from the field, 4 for 6 from deep, 3 for 6 from the line. A huge offensive explosion with 8 points in that 16-0 run.
Got 22 efficiency rating. Only player better is Dunn with 30, but
as working inside and making a layup is Maya Chandler for Miami, cutting into a 7-point game. 21.3 seconds left to go, though. Not too much time. Shot clock is off.
Yeah, how about all 5 Kent State starters in double figures and only 2 bench points? I think that's probably, maybe to be expected in a tournament setting where you want your best players out there at all times. And it is the end of the season. These players are probably in shape to be able to handle that sort of minutes.
Yeah, and, they have a very good starting 5. You look at that. It's a very versatile starting 5. They can do a lot of things with it. And you've been able to see that today. There's a lot of Swiss Army knife players on this Kent State team. They lead 66-59. That last time out was a full one, so we're going to step away for a few moments. When we come back, we're going to have the final moments of this one. 66-59, Kent State leading Miami. 21.3 seconds to play in the second of 4 women's quarterfinals game here at the MAC tournament. You're listening to MAC Tournament Basketball on Falcon Radio.
On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing, looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scored!
Back underway here. Miami, instead of fouling, gets a steal, and they throw it right away immediately to Deanna Gray. Miami had a chance there, Henry, to get a kind of miracle run going late. Forced the steal on the trap. Herho got the steal off the Jenna Bash turnover. 7 turnovers for Jenna Bash here today.
7 turnovers, 1 assist. 4 for 10 from the field. It's not the day you want to see from your star player. All MAC first team, and I just saw Coach Starkey give Bash a little pat on the back, reassurance there.
Trust in the star player.
It's not end all be all. You still got another game to play here against the best team in the MAC.
If this doesn't say anything about Kent State, though, as Deanna Gray misses her first free throw, that you can have Jenna Bash still score 10 points, but shoot 4 for 10 and turn over the ball 7 times with just 1 assist and 1 steal, and you are winning a game by nearly double digits.
Yeah.
That says a lot about this Kent State squad this year, as Deanna Gray missed both free throws, and we have a 30-second timeout by Miami. Miami is out of timeouts. Kent State has 1 30-second timeout remaining. 66-59. Kent State leads the Redhawks. 14.5 seconds to play. It'll be interesting to see if Miami does miss a shot here in the next possession. You'd have to imagine they wouldn't foul and run that clock out.
Yeah, I think the game it's 3 possessions at this point, 14.5 seconds left, so you just have to kind of think, okay, maybe.
If you're Miami, most likely you'd have to think you look for a three-pointer, a quick catch-and-shoot three. You hope it goes in, give yourself a chance to fight for a miracle finish.
Yeah.
Gonzalez looking for the ball. It's going to be given to Maya Chandler. She'll work inside and make a layup, and I believe Todd Starkey is going to use his final 30-second timeout. He will. 10.4 seconds to go. So this end of the game keeps dragging on just a little bit. I remember when we were saying there was a minute left. Those going to take a little bit. I think this last minute has taken about 10-15.
Yeah, it feels like that was about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Amazing how that works in college basketball. But, these teams, this is the last chance. So Miami obviously wants to give themselves any chance they can to make a miracle comeback. No insult to their strategies here. That's what you want to do in the situation.
Yeah. 66-61 now the score. Down by 5, 10.4 seconds to play.
I'm excited to see what we're going to see out of Toledo in this upcoming game against Central Michigan. Toledo, coming to the game, we saw some tough, especially a tough game against Bowling Green only a few games ago, and that's a team that if anyone is going to compete, I think with Ball State, it's going to be them, especially just considering the 2 seed and that game coming up in 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one.
Deanna Gray fouled. I said earlier on in the season, Lucas Kleinmeyer can attest to this. I told him after watching this Kent State team play Bowling Green in Kent earlier in the season, they had an upcoming game against Buffalo. And I think Kent's going to beat Buffalo. Kent, I think, outside of Ball State, is the next most well-rounded team in the MAC. And I think they could contend with Ball State for the most well-rounded team in the MAC. I think Ball State just has so much firepower. But this Golden State, Golden Flashes, I should say, this Golden Flashes team has a legitimate chance to make a run, especially if they are able to put up a fight and take down Ball State. It'd be hard for someone else to knock off this team.
Of course. I think there's a clear gap between the top 4 teams and the bottom 4 teams.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Kent State, the 2024 MAC champions, and Miami, the 5 seed, a team that, coming in with the lack of experience, there's a big gap there. And any of these 4 teams can win the tournament, even if Ball State has just been on the incredible run that they've been on this season.
Deanna Gray was fouled by Maya Chandler. She hits her first on the line, goes 2 for 2. Deanna Gray up to 12 points here today. Maya Chandler with it, takes a deep 3, does not go. Rebounded by Janae Tyler. And she'll run out the clock. Kent State will face Ball State in the semifinals of the MAC Women's Basketball Tournament, defeating Miami of Ohio 68-61 for the 9th time in 10 seasons under head coach Todd Starkey. The Golden Flashes are moving on to the semifinals here in Cleveland. We will take a quick break, get back with you to, actually we won't have a post game. I'm doing the normal schedule. We'll have about 30 minutes before the next game. So before we go off the air, give us some final thoughts, Henry.
Yeah, well, I think Kent State really proved themselves in this one. They proved that they're a contender for the title, and with the adversity that they faced, and that Miami challenged them, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Miami, the best defense in the MAC, just came in and stifled them originally, but that 16-point run there in the second quarter really set Kent State apart as they head out into the locker room to the cheers of a well-traveled Kent State fan base here. But looking at some of the stat lines, as we mentioned, Kent State in double figures, all 5 members led in the scoring category by Babbitt, 19.7 rebounds and 1 assist, 2 steals as well for Miami. The leader of the game was Maya Chandler, 23 points on 4 for 8 from 3, 2 assists as well. Double doubles from Treader for Miami, and Dunn and Gray for Kent State.
And you look at that, Maya Chandler, 23 points leading everything. Babbitt also had an incredible game with 19. And Kent State just does enough on the offensive side to get it done. Struggled at times in that second half when both defenses tightened up, but Kent State does enough. They move on to the semifinals Next up here today on the slate will be Toledo against Central Michigan. That'll take place. The counter still hasn't started as Central Michigan starts warming up on the court. It'll be at about 4 o'clock. The timer's going now, so tip-off's looking like it'll be about, we'll call it, about 3:54-ish.
I would say about 4.
About 4 with the with the lineups and such. So should be about 4. Lucas Kleinmeyer, Caden Knapp will be on the air for the second game, which the last game of the day, which will be Bowling Green against Buffalo. That is scheduled to probably be about 6:30. We're looking about right time. But next up for Toledo Central Michigan, Henry, you will be joining Artie Abrego for that broadcast. Look forward to that one. Make sure to stay tuned for that in about 30 minutes on Falcon Radio.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.